Margaret Atwood once wrote, "Men are afraid the women will laugh at them. Women are afraid the men will kill them." This quote is reflected horrifically in the murders of 35 women just in 2019 in my home country of Uruguay. I wasn't born there, and my parents left Montevideo in 1993, but the beautiful country still holds a special place in my heart, which is why I decided to do this talk and honor the Uruguayan women who were tragically taken from us by femicide. 35 might not sound like a high number to you, but those are individual lives lost to a society that didn't care enough to keep them alive. Some were young, some old. All were killed because they were women living in a man's world. Most of these were women living in the countryside, forced to live under traditional roles that ended up killing them since they lacked the resources to escape. Others were immigrant women, their vulnerability preyed upon. Let me tell you all about Miriam Sosofoco. Miriam was recovering from a spinal surgery at home, unable to move and fearing for her safety as her ex-husband refused to comply with her restraining order and was frequently seen loitering around her home. One night, he cut off her electricity, forcing her to go outside where he stabbed her to death. Miriam was the 13th woman killed in Uruguay at the age of 39. Miriam is one of the many victims of femicide to be killed by a current or ex-partner. Women who trusted the people they were in a relationship with ended up paying with their lives. In feminism, we often talk about women having the right to live without fear. But when did we decide women weren't worthy of living at all? These women's lives were ended in a vile manner, only adding to the growing statistic we push them into. But what if we stop thinking about them as simply numbers? I want you all to take a moment to think about the women in your lives, the women in this room. They may have affected your life so deeply, you couldn't imagine being here without them. Would any of us be the people we are today if it weren't for the women in our lives? Women can change lives, but only if we give them the chance. So how do we give women the chance? By empowering them. When Lilian Abrasinkas started the feminist magazine Daily Women in 1985, feminism started to be seen more in Uruguayan law and society. The magazine focuses on feminist issues such as abortion, the political participation of women, and feminism being represented in politics. Abortion is a particularly important subject to the magazine, since they fought the state for to be decriminalized from the 1980s to 2012, when Uruguay became the 4th country in Latin America to legalize abortion. I should also mention, Uruguay is a secular country, and it was once ranked the 6th most tolerant place in the world to live in. Daily Women also fought the state on a bill concerning domestic violence, which is much needed, since to this day, Uruguayan law contains a loophole for murders of partners, referred to as Article 36, crimes of passion. The law states that if the victim was caught cheating by their partner/murderer, then the judge sees it fit to reduce the defendant's sentence on the grounds of being provoked into the violent crime. This outrageous law might seem like it's exclusive to Latin America, but up until 2010, the UK had a similar law claiming that the motive of adultery made the crime fall under provocational defense. Sexist laws like these perpetuate the idea that what is done to women is their own fault. They protect the criminals and disrespect their victims, who are already vulnerable. Societal views also need to change. When women are objectified to the point where they are viewed as disposable, they begin to be treated as disposable, and this is a dangerous line for society to cross. Latin America's violent history of sexism exacerbates the issue. This silent genocide that's been quietly claiming lives needs to be stopped. So how do we stop a silent genocide? We start talking about it. I'm going to leave you all with one final statistic. It's estimated that every 12 days, a woman in Uruguay is killed by gender-based violence. So if you can, take a moment today to think about the life we lost 12 days ago and how we can prevent the loss of another today. Thank you.